What's up, everybody? Julian Hall here, Ultrapreneur TV. At the Ultrapreneur, you know where I'm at, everywhere on the web. So today's video asks the question, do you need 10,000 hours to become an expert? Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because on previous videos, I've suggested that if you want to be an entrepreneur, set up your own business, then you need to be excellent at the thing you are delivering. And the reason why you need to be excellent at it and not just good is because if you're not excellent, then people aren't going to pay for it. It's a very simple assumption, which I think you probably will agree with. So if you follow that train of thought and then you go online to work out how you can become excellent at something or how to become an expert at something, then the resounding arguments out there for becoming an expert suggest from a number of different quarters that you need to spend 10,000 hours in order to become an expert at something. So this is the thing that I wanted to address, and this is my take on it. Okay, so when I first developed the skill that allowed me to deliver a service, it was Google marketing or SEO or search engine optimization, like, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, okay? And it didn't take me 10,000 hours to become a genuine expert at that thing. It took me maybe 2,000 hours. And the reason why I wanted to put this in context is because the industry I was in wasn't 10 years old. So 10,000 hours generally represents 10 years of effort or learning into your particular field. The industry I was in wasn't 10 years old. When I then went into doing social media marketing and became an expert in that, I didn't spend 10,000 hours doing it. There are individuals who are experts on Instagram. There are probably people who are experts on Snapchat. Did they spend 10,000 hours? Of course not, because these sectors weren't 10 years old when they created their experts. So firstly, I would like to say that I believe that there is a new dynamic which exists in business today, whereby there's almost an accelerated ability towards expertise because there is less to know about that particular field. Not because you don't need 10,000 hours necessarily in certain industries, but in certain industries there is just less to know, right? So your ability to become an expert or to be regarded as an expert is also based on whether or not you can deliver enough value for people to pay you for what you're doing. So this is the other thing, right? You can become regarded as an expert simply by knowing more than the person next to you. So you can just know more than the person you are delivering the work to, and they will regard you as an expert. And regarding you as an expert means that they will then pay you for the thing that you're doing, right? So that's the first thing. That's just put some context around it, okay? Secondly, there are industries which are springing up. There are niches within sectors which are springing up, which are brand new. So you can't tell me that you've got to spend 10,000 hours in those brand new industries to become an expert at it. My take on it is that if you are able to produce results with that particular technology, with that strategy in that new niche, then you're an expert. Because you can produce results, and that gives you the right to then exchange your time for money. Okay, so that's the second thing. The last thing I want to say is that you need to think about why you want to become an expert. And the reason why I'm posing that philosophical question is because I get the feeling that a lot of people who have approached this I want to become an expert thing is because they have seen how much the experts get paid, right? Whether or not it's as an entrepreneur or whether or not it is in a working environment. So they see an expert who's earning 6 figures and they think, okay, I want to become like you. How do I become like you? Okay, I've got to spend 10 years or 10,000 hours doing it. Now, the first thing is that's quite disheartening. And the reason why it's quite disheartening is because, are you telling me that the entrepreneur who has spent less than 10 years and is now running a successful business, doesn't have to be £1 million business, but is running a successful business, is not an expert at or in his field? You can't tell me that. It doesn't compute, right? And And also, how do you measure becoming an expert businessman or an expert entrepreneur? How do you measure that? That can't be measured by hours. That's got to be measured by a combination of nature and nurture. It's got to be, because there are people who just have a flair for a particular thing, and that accelerates their ability to grow and become really good and develop expertise in that area, okay? And following on from that, and you know, just to tie up this, my philosophical statement on this and why you want to become an expert, is that you will only, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but for most people, you will only become an expert at something if you still want to do this 10,000 rule or even 5,000 rule, because that's still a good 5 years, right? You will only become an expert at something if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're not spending 10,000 hours on it. You're just not, unless you're a robot and you don't mind your soul being destroyed in the process and, you know, losing your dream and your ability to execute on the thing that you actually have a purpose for, right? So some people just want to become an expert in golf because they think that golf instructors make lots of money, and they may go down that road tirelessly, robotically, and do that thing. Some people are capable of that. That's cool, that's good for them. I don't suggest that, because those people end up generally not being happy because they're following something that only has a monetary gain. And as we know, we are not just driven by money. There are lots of other intrinsic things that we are driven by: motivation, self-worth, all the rest of it. And those things have nothing to do with money, personal development, etc. Those things have absolutely nothing to do with money, right? But doing what you love ticks a lot of boxes, because if you love something, then chances are you enjoy it. Now do this test. Think about the thing that you really love, the thing that you enjoy. I don't care what it is. It could be watching America's Next Top Model, or it could be, so I don't watch TV, so I don't know what the latest thing is, right? But think about the thing that you really enjoy, right? Whether it's music, sport, TV, think about the thing that you really enjoy. Chances are you know a lot about it. Chances are you could be regarded, if there was an industry that got paid for doing the thing that you really enjoy, you could be regarded as an expert at it. Now, do you remember having to study for that thing, the thing that you really enjoy and you know a lot about? Do you remember having to study for it? You didn't study for it, did you? You just absorbed the information. You put the time into that thing simply because you enjoyed it, right? And there are some people who are lucky, well, not so much lucky, but there are some people who have done this, who've just spent loads of time on the thing that they enjoy until it became apparent, or people started to pay them for what they enjoyed, right? You know, that does happen naturally and organically. I guess what I'm suggesting is that you can engineer that thing, right? So look for the thing that you enjoy, not because it's warm and cuddly. There's that too, but if you don't, you're not going to spend 5,000 or 10,000 hours doing it. You're just not. And if you do, you're probably going to end up being quite miserable, and you'll probably be distracted at some point by the thing that you actually do love and enjoy. So I'm not going to labor the point because I think you get it. That's it from me, Julian Hall. If this video was useful, you know the dilly, share it with somebody, and I am out of here. Peace.